Hi everybody, it's Colin here from Woodthorp International. I hope you're all well. Well, I've had a very interesting week. I've had wires going everywhere to find a fault. Anyway, I'll explain. So what have I been up to this week? Well, I've put this triangle piece in here. And that's to turn American locos around. Because most American locos have a cab at one end. Depending on the style of the loco, sometimes the cab's further back, but generally it's at one end. Now, I know off camera I could just do that. Hand of God, turn it around, everybody's happy. But I don't want to do that. I want to run the layout so if it's going to run correctly. The only hand of God work there should be is in the fiddle yard. Hopefully no hand of God anywhere else because it just runs. So basically the American trains run on the right, so that loco's that way, but if I want it to turn around and go on there, it would come in from the outside line in here to here, then reverse out onto the outside line, and then it would have to cross over to the inside line, which is at the end of that loco, the back of the loco there. There's a crossover points onto the inside and then drive back, and it would be all facing that way and vice versa. So that's the reason for the turnaround, but it also has another purpose. These two lines are how each the outside and the inside track get to the fiddle yard through a hole which will be over there. The inside line has to cross over there where that 59 is, through those points, onto the outside bit, which is from there to those points, up there and off through the wall to the other fiddle yard. Now, because I might be returning with an inside train, it has to come back down the same line. So not only does this unit change the polarity for this triangle, it will also work for bringing trains back where the power supply is opposite. So because the fiddle yard is on like a continuous loop, and you'll see this when I get to it. Now, if it's the outside line, it'll use naturally the outside track. It will go the same way, but when it comes back on a separate line, follows the curvature of that, and then goes across there and joins onto that and comes out over a point over there, and it's already facing the correct way for the outside line. So that's why this unit is placed here, because not only does it have to change the loco, if there's a loco on it with lights on the coaches, it has to change the whole thing instantly when it touches here to change the polarity. Now, the problem I had was with this unit here. Nothing wrong with the unit, it's something I've done with the wiring. Now, it doesn't affect the rest of the layout on how the layout runs with iTrain or with me. It's to if there was a signal being sent through the wires, because that's how everything gets back to the computer, and it was making that think there's a short. And it took me about 20 hours to sort it out. I had wires everywhere. There was wires going from that, bypassing that, to that. There was wires coming from here. There was wires going across to this level where I did the test track. And it was frustrating but interesting trying to work it out. But I did sort it, and it works perfectly now. What I ended up doing, I ran that unit from number 1 there. Well, nothing else can affect that because it's just it doesn't happen. The actual signal was going away from that, not towards it. And it was going through the power supply, that's what I found now. It was a power supply from number 9 to number 10, and it didn't like it. It was throwing a signal out to it. So it's sorted now. I'm happy. The other thing I've been up to is I've put this line in here. It's all glued down, which is the outline to go from America to Europe, or if a European train comes in to go around America, it goes back out to go back to its own country through a hole in that wall. Now, that's glued. They are permanent. They are, and that. I'm just showing you what they'd be like. That would be the points. There's, excuse the pun, no point putting these points in because there's not enough space to have a long train on there anyway. And there's 2 more points to go in here. So all the points what would be here will be used in Japan first, and this doesn't need to be done until after the American and Japan fiddle yard are done, and that is quite a while down the road. The other thing I've done is I put a permanent and Pico measuring track up. Before it was just Kato stuck to this board. Down here there was wires a bit like this, but I've just made it a bit tidier, and it's stuck down, and this is what this shelf was for. I've just got to glue this bit down because that is for programming if I need to program a train separate. But because most of my decoders are going to be Railcom, I can do it on the main line with another 100 locos on it. It doesn't affect them. It's only a non-one. So that's what that's there for, if I need it. So that's what I've been up to. So I'll show you this bit of running. It's great. I just love the sound. I love what it does. The 66 Drax is going to be run by iTrain on fully automatic. I'm going to drive that train, and the Drax train will stop and it will set off when it thinks it's clear to go onto the rest of the journey. One other thing I have done on iTrain, I've put a track route from here, changing these points, changing that point and that point so it can go off into here and eventually into the fiddle yard if I wish, if I'm driving it. So I don't have to do them separate. I can just click one button and it'll do all 4. So thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the running, and I'll look forward to speaking to you next week. Bye for now. Bye.